Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today, we are covering Silent Night, the one that came out in 2021 with Keira Knightley. But before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. So, I am doing the Republic of Tea Peppermint Bark. It's got peppermint, green rooibos, cocoa extract, blackberry leaves, and monk fruit.
And I am drinking Twinings Pure Peppermint, which just has peppermint in it. Like, that's all that's in it. This is what it's got.
Like, that is an accurate statement.
It is accurate. It is purely peppermint. It says ingredients peppermint. Like, that's what it says on the thing.
But for our tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. So, a Christmas family gathering starts off a little rough, and the night only gets worse as it's revealed it's the end of the world and the family's last day together. So, this movie starts off feeling like a cynical Christmas movie, almost kind of like Krampus. Mm-hmm. But then it very quickly becomes very sad and like, why am I watching this? So I don't, it's like my emotional side wants to give it a lower rating, but I think the movie is well done, even though I didn't like it. So I'm going to give it a 6 for entertainment. But unless if you want to be depressed, don't watch this movie because it's like
especially as a parent, don't watch it.
It's like you see. It kind of goes through like each segment of the family and how they're handling the situation. And at one point, they do show a family that's in a car when the gas goes by, and it's very sad. And then the ending of the main family is also very sad. It's just, because... And it's kind of like those apocalypse type of movies where it's like, oh, what would the government do in this situation and how would they handle it? And their solution is like a pill.
To unalive yourself?
Yeah, which we'll go into realism about that. But just a lot of... It's just sad and not really entertaining. Really, like towards the end, the thing that was most entertaining was when I don't remember her name, but the blonde girl like stabs and she's like, you threw out the pill, you dummy, or whatever, and it's like that's how it's like, okay. But no, this has a lot of heart-wrenching moments. I think this is the one that I told you that like it almost made me cry, and I was like,
I got very close as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it together. Mm-hmm. But I also think that it came out in 2021, which was, so it's probably produced during or close to after the lockdown.
Mhm.
So, at that time, we definitely were in feeling like the world was ending. And I know things have escalated in a different way. So it's like it feels a little too on point in the span of time that it came out, and so I think that's a part of the reason why it hit so hard. But especially the fact that like there are a lot of kids in the movie, and they don't shy away from showing what happens to the kids. So it's a difficult watch. But yeah, that's the warning I have is like if you want to be sad and depressed and potentially cry, then go ahead and watch this movie. But it's not scary necessarily. It's
It's
more
scary in a different way,
yeah, yeah.
in
Um
an existential crisis kind of way.
yes, yeah. But yeah, that's what I got for entertainment.
Emotionally, F this movie. I give it a 6 as well. It's on par with The Lodge. Um, this movie, as a mother, I hate it. I hate it. It's like an impossible situation. You don't have a whole lot of information, just what's given to you by the government and the media, which is not much. And there's,
Well, and
it's like
let's
an impossible choice
yeah. Yeah.
and an impossible situation. And I know everyone in the movie just did what they thought was best for their family. And it's horrible and heartbreaking. And Art he ended up right. At least we think he ended up
They definitely
right.
allude to it, yeah.
But then now he has to go on with everyone that he knows dead. So, like, what is really better at that point? And what is okay? There's no right answer and there's no good answer. It's just awful, and I hate this movie. F this movie. It was fairly well done, though. And they did show a lot of different reactions to it. And some people went with dignity and grace, and others went a little harder and fighting a little bit, and others were sad and taking it out on others, and some were trying to just have fun and comfort everybody else and just trying to hold it together. And so it was nice to see the different reactions to it. And there was a lot of emotion and just, but emotionally, F this movie. That's all I got to say on this topic. Just,
Yeah. Yeah, for realism is tough. It's like, yeah, the different reactions. I don't know. I gave it a 2, but I could see it maybe being bumped up to a 2.5. But okay, so like the news stuff and, everyone that's lived through the lockdown and stuff is like, we remember pretty clearly, um, we remember pretty clearly that the news was giving us information as it became available. That doesn't necessarily mean that the information was accurate.
or
Um,
complete.
or yes, or complete. So it's like, now that it's, not as big of an emergency. And we have more information. It is a lot more like well-rounded. And also, the news tends to, I don't necessarily want to say over exaggerate because I don't think that's completely accurate, but it's like the news will just say the bad stuff, and so it can
Because
make like,
that's what draws viewers.
yes, like plane crashes.
Mhm.
It's like plane crashes are horrible when they happen, but it's like the reason why they make the news is because they don't happen very often. But it's like if you are only getting your information from directly from the news and not looking at statistics and stuff like that, you would think that a plane falls out of the sky like, once a week or whatever. So it's like, um, so my point in saying that is, I feel like I think the kid had, I forgot his name, but the one that was afraid to take the pill. I think to a
Art.
degree,
Mhm.
yeah, Art. He was a little bit more reasonable because he was kind of questioning, like, are you
He was
sure?
skeptical. Mhm.
Yeah, and I think he had a very healthy amount of skepticism.
Mhm.
While I feel like the parents and stuff from their perspective, I understand their perspective. Like, obviously they were scared for not just themselves, but for their kids. They didn't want, themselves or their kids to suffer. And so they thought that they were making the most informed choice. And, it's revealed that maybe it wasn't. Um, so, I think it did a good job in representing those two sides where it's like, people that, feel like they're acting rationally, but are coming from a place of fear. And then the other side that is, obviously still being led by fear to a certain degree, but they're skeptical and their fear is kind of like pointing them like a different direction. Um,
I also love how he's like, he was so kind. He was so kind, and he's like, why do we get this exit strategy when all these other people that aren't in our circumstances don't? Like, what happens to those people, and who are going to take care of them? Who is going to be there to hold their hand when it's time?
yeah,
And it's not fair.
yeah, yeah. Um, and I think they used art as a great way to kind of like fill in, the questions that like the audience is
Mm-hmm.
having too. Um, but yeah, it's like there's a lot of things that they did well as far as like presenting things to the audience, but yeah. Well, and another realistic thing too is specifically like Keira Knightley's character is her trying to keep it together and trying to, be kind because she knows that, the end is nigh, but she's also very stressed and fearful, and so she'll
Mm-hmm.
snap and then kind of like catch herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was specifically I laughed out loud at this part, but it's like when each of the her sons were opening up the Coke cans or whatever, and it's
Yes.
like, yeah, the first one's like, oh, that's real, right,
And
don't
it's
worry
not
about it.
gonna matter.
Yeah, and then the second she's just like losing her mind.
Well, it was a whole lot more. It was like
Well,
half
yeah,
the freaking can. But
yeah,
still, again, it's not going to matter in like 10 minutes.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Uh, but yeah, the different emotions, but
mhm.
yeah, this movie. I don't know what's more sad, this one or the lodge, because the lodge is pretty.
They both suck.
Yeah, they both suck. I feel like this one's sadder specifically based off of the end.
I had a better time watching the mean one. I can't believe I said that. But it's true. Emotionally, these movies sucked.
I know. It's like
And
you
I
want to be
watched them
depressed
one
for the
after the
holidays.
other.
Yeah.
I watched them one after the other, which made it worse. It made it so much worse.
Yeah, I at least had a little buffer between the two. But yeah. So what do you give realism?
I give it a 2. They didn't really fully explain why the cloud was going everywhere, but like there were a couple different theories. It seemed like they were leaning more towards like something the Russians did, but they weren't really clear on it, and it seemed to be going over like the whole world because they talked about it happening in Africa too, and all like it was a giant wave that was going across. So, for it to go over the entire world, I feel like that's a bit
That's
much.
insane.
Like that's absurd.
Yes.
And it seemed like nowhere was safe because they were talking about like the queen having a bunker and everything. So, like, if there's nowhere that she could be evacuated to, that implies that absolutely nowhere is safe.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, that the whole scenario itself seems a bit implausible, but if we discount that, which was the biggest issue I had with it, then most of it seemed somewhat plausible and made sense. I wish they explained a bit more what was in that pill. Personally. But it could have been any number of things. I'm just surprised they didn't have more side effects.
That's my lipstick or chapstick.
So, but otherwise, I based it mostly on the cloud, honestly. Mostly on the cloud. Because that just annoyed the crap out of me. It just...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be, even if it was global warming, even if it was like a weapon of some sort, it would just
It would dissipate after a while, I would think.
Yeah. Right. And it wouldn't be like, oh, this, sweeping across the world, because the world's a very big place.
And they didn't explain how it affected animals at all. Only people.
That's fair.
And also, we don't know if Art was fine because he only breathed in the yellow part that was like the precursor to the cloud, or if he's fine after that with just like some crappy side effects for a little bit there, or if he's still in for some trouble because the cloud swept through, but a lot of it would still linger, I would think, and still be airborne. So is it just going to be like a slow release kind of thing, or is he fine because he breathed in the yellow stuff and that gave him like enough immunity, I guess? Like he wasn't breathing enough of the gas after that stuff because it kind of sort of closed his airways for a bit. Like there are too many questions. You don't answer anything and it drives me nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I get it. I get all of the reactions that various people had, and um, I get why the lady that found out she was pregnant was saying, "I don't want to take the pill," and then she was kind of sort of talked into it, almost guilted into it at the last second.
Yeah. I don't think what he did I mean, I can understand from his perspective he really didn't want her or his unborn child to suffer, but I felt like that was kind
And
of shady.
it was definitely manipulative.
Yeah.
I get again why he thought that. He's a doctor. He's seen a lot of the effects and all, but I mean, he also was asking questions. Like, he seems sort of skeptical too after the kid told them about, or the dad told him about the family that they had seen in the car. So, I don't know. It just seemed a little off, and the writing wasn't quite as strong with their
Yeah.
subplot. So, I don't know.
Oh, the
They
one
didn't
with
say anything about combating the stuff or gas masks or anything. Like,
I know. Yeah, okay. So
it made no sense.
yeah, my biggest issue with the movie is the fact that their only out was a pill to just take care of them before the gas came. Because it's like, yeah, it's like surely some sort of gas mask um, or, or some sort of retaliation to try and like, I don't know. It just felt like at least their government had like just given up and been like, okay, you're just going to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And the fact that they were able to mass produce that amount of pills, that's crazy.
yeah, yeah,
And in that span of time, too. And distribute them.
yeah,
Because they made it sound like they had been talking about it for weeks, like debating about it. Whether or not they were going to have their family take the pills and all. So,
yeah. Yeah. They're just as crappy or emotionally crappy the movie is. It was an interesting concept, but yeah, I don't agree with all of the things that because even if there was some sort of suffering involved with the gas, like it's like okay, bottom line, we have absolutely no choice to like deter it. There's no gas mask that will fix it. I still can't picture the government being like, okay, they'd be more like, okay, tough luck, good luck, everybody.
yeah. Do what you can, hold your loved ones close.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, one thing I did find frustrating though is the fact that it seemed like they did give up so easily. They just like believed what like the government and the news was saying. It's like, even if I was told, okay, there's no way you can avoid it, I would still actively being like, okay, well, can I get a hold of a gas mask? Is there a bunker? Is there, anywhere like, because I feel like that's human nature. Like, even if we're told
fight to survive.
Yeah, even if we're told the worst case scenario, we still want to try and do what we can just in case it works. So I don't know. Then
it's that what if they're wrong kind of thing.
Yeah. And so I think that was another frustrating thing about the movie is the fact that they're like, okay, we have no choice. We're just gonna be screwed. Yeah. But
there's a lot of commentary to unpack there, but
there is. I mean, and you can kind of unpack it in multiple different ways too. But yeah, either way, it's not an enjoyable movie. I can't. I'm like,
I'd
who?
skip it.
Yeah, I'm like, who does this cater towards? I guess if you like movies that are depressing that have commentary, then
I mean, there are some people that like to debate what if kind of scenarios and all that, and I can see this appealing to them for that aspect of it.
yeah.
But personally, F this movie.
It's sad. It's sad. But thank you for joining us today. And next week we will be mostly past the sad movies. I don't know why, but this collection of movies that we picked,
They didn't look as bad. When
I
we were looking at the different titles and stuff.
We didn't want to like depress everybody or
sorry. I'm sorry. They didn't look emotionally scarring.
Yeah, I know.
Whenever we saw them and picked them out, I'm sorry. They were presented in a different light.
Yes. But let us know
what we ordered.
Let us know what you thought of the movie. And if you'd like to recommend a movie, hopefully a happier one, game or tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord server. And if you'd like to keep up to date with our content, you can find our link tree listed below.
Yeah, if you'd like to support the podcast, of course, please subscribe, like, and share our content. We also have a Teespring and a PayPal donate button available if you'd like to support us monetarily. And again, you can find all of those things mentioned linked below. But until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy. Bye!